Well, generally, when you look at the Angels historically, they've been a team that has risen to that occasion and played exceptional baseball when you're facing the very best. And it all starts here tonight with Ryu and the Jays going against Shohei Ohtani and his mates with the Angels. This should be a lot of fun, this game. The energy level in this ballpark already tonight is a lot of fun.
Shohei Ohtani historically here at the Big A is phenomenal. 22 career starts here, 9-2 with a 2.20 ERA, and well, last year he was 6-0, and he's just getting better, as you said. It's just fun to watch.
And my go-tos for Shohei to have a good game against a very deep and dangerous but aggressive lineup for the Jays is get those big strikeouts on his slider. He's been very, very good as far as that slider. 48.9% whiff percentage with his slider this season, and then ride that fastball upper zone at 97, 98 miles an hour. When they're looking off speed, ride that fastball upstairs.
So let's take a look at what Toronto has to offer as far as their lineup is concerned. They're coming in at 23-20, and George Springer, always dangerous, leading off in center, followed by Santiago Espinal at second, Vladimir Guerrero Jr. DHing, Bo Bichette, what a player, hitting cleanup. Matt Chapman is at third. We know him, of course, from the A's. Raimel Tapia in right, Danny Jansen catching, Lourdes Gurriel Jr. in left, and Kevin Biggio is at first base. He's struggling. Bo Bichette's a superstar in this game as well.
A lot of power. You wouldn't think, he's got a power to left field and center field. He's very aggressive, too, and he puts a lot of jumps on those fastballs, especially early.
Let's go over the outfield, left, right, and center. We got Marsh, Mike Trout, and, hey, welcome back, Juan Lagares. He was just activated, and he is going to be in right field. Still no Taylor Ward. He is available off the bench to hit. Anthony Rendon, Andrew Velasquez, Luis Rengifo, Matt Duffy is at first against the tough lefty Ryu. Max Stassi is back behind the plate, catching Shohei Ohtani. And Juan Lagares, we saw him over 30 games last year and right over 100 in all in the outfield. He could play outstanding defense.
Yeah, he's a Gold Glove winner back in 2014 as a center fielder, so you know that covers there. 40 career outfield assists. That's great to have that glove and arm out in the outfield again for the Halos.
So he gives us the thumbs up, ready to go on another beautiful night here at the Big A. Angels coming in 9 games over 500. First pitch. And just misses.
He knows his team, the Jays, are very, very aggressive, especially on first pitch fastballs. A lot of numbers, a lot of swings, a lot of baseballs put in play on the first pitch. Starts him off with a slider.
Two and 0 to Springer. First pitch at 6:40 p.m., 68 degrees. Behind the plate, calling the balls and strikes, John Lipka. He drops that slider in there for a strike, 2-1.
John Lipka taking over for Nick Litz, was in the behind the plate last night.
And the 2-1 to Springer. That's hit well down the line and foul.
Got him out in front on a slider. That's okay. A little bit flat slider, but you want to get back in the count. Now he has the chance to that swing and miss slider. Or you can try to run that fastball upstairs. The one thing about Springer, though, pretty good on fastballs up and away. So if you're going to go fastball, you want to be middle in, upstairs.
Well, he's slider heavy in the first 4 pitches. 3 of the 4 with the off speed. That has been the pitch he's featuring more than that split.
Well, there's a split there. You usually see that early in the game for Shohei. He's even hit some batters with the splitter until he gets a feel for it. Staying on top of that baseball, making sure you get the fingers to split open, but he'll stay on top of that thumb in good position to make sure it goes straight down. He got underneath on the delivery.
Here's the 3-2. And he goes to the 4-seam fastball, which is an average velo, 97 plus.
Remember last time out, he was throwing 97, 98 in the first inning, even 99. See if he drops him a slider here now. See if he get that punch out.
Seventh pitch coming to George Springer, leading off this ball game. Pops it up. Will it stay in play? Stassi comes over. It's trying to work its way back, but it's out of play.
So far, he's throwing some flat sliders to Springer. And another one backed up on him. Put on our angle, it kept looking like that baseball was trying to work its way back into play. That's why Stassi went all the way to that netting. So time now, if you're Stassi, you want to set that target on the outside part of the plate. Almost think shin guards, right at that top of the shin guards for a slider here.
That one's driven to center field. Mike Trout going back to the wall, leaps, and he's going to watch that one go. Another leadoff home run for George Springer. Battled, and he won. And the Jays on the board.
Now 5 for 10 with 2 home runs against Shohei Ohtani for Springer. Pretty good numbers. Going to center field. That's just a good at bat. That's not a bad pitch. 97-mile-an-hour fastball downstairs. He's able to lift that one out. The first home run that Shohei Ohtani has allowed versus a fastball this year.
That brings up Espinal. 1-0 Toronto.
He's got the jacket on.
It travels. Second. Well, the record's 81 by Ricky Henderson, but 48 leads all active players. Up and into Espinal. That'll change the eye level, 1-1.
Espinal with 13 doubles this year. That way, as a hitter, I've always been a believer of going inside 0-1. I don't like the 0-2 fastball in. 0-1 is a good one because that way you can establish something away and not have a hitter comfortable looking away against you.
That's popped up. Duffy is there. And we have one out here in the first.
That's why you throw that fastball in.
So this is a matchup we're looking forward to. Number 1, MVP versus number 2. And of course, such great history here with his father. Also, he won an AL MVP and also finished top 5 a couple of times. Vladimir Guerrero Jr.
Where his Angels hat to Cooperstown.
It has been a quiet month, however, for Vladdy Jr. As far as his numbers, if you compare last year at this time to this year, he's seeing less four-seam fastballs, and he's hitting many more ground ball outs. If you're going to throw him that fastball, Mark, right, you want that low and away.
Yeah, because his launch angle is a lot flatter than normal, a little over 4-degree launch angle, so he's hitting a lot of baseballs on the ground and on the line. But still a very dangerous hitter.
No doubt. Oh, swing and a miss.
That's a really good splitter. It's a good sign to have a splitter like that early on. This one goes straight down. He stayed on top of this baseball exceptionally well. Look at this, where it starts and ends. That's almost in front of the plate, and he got a swing.
Guerrero just had a 15-game homerless drought snapped in St. Louis on Tuesday. It's popped up, and Stas is going to watch that go out of play. So for Guerrero, last year slugging percentage versus this year, OPS last year versus this year's, but it's that ground ball percentage. It's over 60% just the month of May alone, and the launch angle, that's surprising. A lot of ground ball outs.
And he was talking earlier today about what he's been doing and a little bit of struggles he's had so far this year, but still pretty solid numbers. Most players would take the numbers he's put up. But he said he's going to be comfortable soon, and you just hope he's not comfortable until he gets out of town in his 4-game set.
Outside, misses. It's now 1-2. Yeah, still well above league average.
Yep. 233 this season versus breaking balls. Shohei tried to get him to chase a slider off the plate. Joey's been worked pretty good here. 15 pitches here in the first inning.
The 1-2. And that one's hit well. Left field. Brandon Marsh going back to the track. He has room and makes the catch.
That might have been a different story up at Rogers Center.
Yep.
And here's today's Hyundai key for the game today. Obviously, when you're going Toronto, you got to go rush. Geddy Lee, a big Jays fan. Time stands still. That means you got to get the hitters to look for certain pitches and get them to stand there and be still and get them out. Whether it's a fastball and a break a ball count or vice versa. When you look at fastball, go secondary pitch.
Time, stand still, and still one of the all-time great moments when we got a chance to meet Geddy Lee when we were in Toronto.
Yes.
So brings up Bo Bichette. Cleanup hitter, 6 homers, 21 RBIs.
His dad, a former Angel player himself, Dante Bichette. A very good player throughout his career, especially with those numbers he put up with Colorado.
Foul back, 0-2. Leadoff home run from George Springer. 1-0 here, top of the first. Start of a 4-game series. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. It was a long inning for Ohtani, and the Jays homer. It's 1-0. Japan and Korea. And lowest career ERA pitchers born in Asia, 40-plus starts. Ryu, South Korea, 3 1/4. That leads everybody, including Ohtani, Iwakuma, Kuroda, Darvish, Tanaka. Does that number stay there? Do you think Ohtani will overtake Ryu, who's 35 years old, by the time it's all said and done?
Like I said, I think Shohei Ohtani is getting better and better pitching-wise. That's hard to believe when we were 9-2 last year with 156 strikeouts and 130-plus innings pitched, but he's getting better. Throwing all his pitches effectively and still has that command of his fastball and not overthrowing it.
Ryu got out of trouble there. Top career WAR players born in Japan. Ohtani closing in on Tanaka. Ichiro leading the way, 60 on the button. Might take the over there when that's all said and done as well.
Let's take a look at the pitch arsenal this season for Shohei Ohtani. We look at our StatCast 3D powered by Google Cloud. 43% four-seam fastball, slider at 31%. That's up. Splitter 12, down a little bit this season. Changeup about 11%. Cutter, threw a lot more cutters last time out there. That slider has been very, very effective, as his fastball has been this season as compared to seasons in the past. Especially first pitch hitters swinging a lot at his fastball.
Ohtani's going to face Matt Chapman to lead off the top of the second. Oh, it's a real slow curveball there. 71. Borderline eephus pitch for Ohtani. So 1-1, that one driven foul. Chapman coming in is yet to get going at the plate. Hitting a .192. Last year, the Angels in 19 games with Oakland, he only hit .172, but he's hitting the ball hard.
Good career numbers against Shohei, but including a couple home runs. One being on his sliders, I remember, in Oakland his first year.
Popped up, Mike Trout in his tracks. And we have one out here, top of the second. Right now, let's give you a quick word from Hyundai.
It's your journey. Own it in the Hyundai Santa Fe.
So just a leadoff home run for Ohtani, and since then he's retired 4 in a row. Springer, that was a battle to start off this ball game, but he's settling in. Raimel Tapia now with one down, top of the second.
It's one of the guys you want to keep off the bases. Good speed.
And that's something we saw Texas try and exploit with their running game.
One thing about Shohei, though, like he does everything so well, he completely shuts down an opponent's running game.
Just misses 2-0. Couple of fastballs off the plate to Tapia. Slider in there, 2-1.
Shohei is so good as far as pitching backwards, and fastball counts, hitters counts. He'll throw his slider or splitter or curveball, and then when you got hitters looking secondary pitches, that's when he throws his fastball.
Starting to get the feel for that slider.
It's amazing the percentage of sliders he has thrown, how much has increased this season as the splitter has gone down percentage-wise.
What does that tell you?
Well, he's got a good feel for it. Eventually, you're going to see his splitter. That was the most dominating pitch last year in the game, his splitter. It's a good time to see if he could throw that splitter to a lefty here to get a punchy.
How about that? Is that what you're talking about right there?
Nasty.
Great call. You know, we saw that also earlier versus Guerrero.
The amazing thing, when you look at that baseball, how little that spins. And we talk a lot about spin rate, whether it's his four-seam fastball or slider, but a splitter, a good splitter from Shohei, very little spin to it. You could almost read the seams on it. Spin rate of 925.
What's average?
Usually on a splitter, changeup, it's going to be about 1400. That's almost a knuckleball, where you can see that you can almost read the seams coming in, and it just drops.
Danny Jansen. This is Toronto's catcher. 5 home runs on the year. Got to be careful coming off a multi-homer game.
He's got that Chris Sabo look going now with the glasses.
Good call.
Yeah, 1426, the average spin rate on a splitter. That one was 900s for Shohei.
1-2. That one's fouled back. 900.
And his average splitter, the spin rate on a splitter this season, is about 1300. So below normal anyhow, but that one was that was fantastic. He threw it to Tapia.
Two down here in the second, the 1-2. Just misses. Went back to the splitter.
Tapia is one of those hitters, too, that will make an adjustment on a splitter, so that's how good and how effective that was.
2-2.
Little drop down. Jansen was thinking he's at the mercy of the home plate umpire on that one. He's like, oh. Because you don't see Shohei bring that arm angle all that often.
And he's got the feel going on the hill this year. 3-2. What a beautiful pitch. The slider gets him. And he strikes out the last 2 batters. And we're going to head to the bottom of the second. Angels offense looking to get on the board, but let's marvel at that slider right there from Shohei Ohtani. It's 1-0 Jays. 1-0 Toronto, top of the third. Shohei Ohtani back out there, and he's starting to heat up. He's retired 6 in a row since the leadoff home run to George Springer. And Gooby, as he faces Lourdes Gurriel, everything is better on the mound this year from Ohtani. He's in zone percentage on all of his pitches. The velo is up on every single one of the pitches, and even the fastball velo is up from, if you combine all the fastballs last year, 93.7 miles per hour. This year, 96.7. Average fastball.
His balance, when it comes down to his balance over the pitching rubber, is outstanding. And for any pitcher, when you're able to have that balance over the pitching rubber, it allows you to drive towards the plate and be consistent in the strike zone. It's when you fly open, that's when the pitches, you drop your elbow and everything is out of whack.
Well, he falls behind Gurriel 3-0. 4-seam fastball comparison last season to this. It's more in the zone, higher swing percentage, and in-zone swings. Just everything is better with the fastball. And He gets the call there, 3-1.
That a 3-0 splitter.
Upstairs with movement.
That's creative.
Okay, leadoff walk.
Let's take a look at the difference between the fastball velocity of Ryu and Shohei Ohtani on our StatCast 3D powered by Google Cloud. The average velocity on a four-seam fastball and the separation how at 97.2 as compared to 89.8 miles per hour. You're talking almost 4 feet of difference between that baseball getting to the front of the plate with Shohei as compared to Ryu. Now, it doesn't necessarily always matter as far as velocity. You still have to hit your spot.
Gooby, you could go out there and start hitting 88 right now.
Yeah, if it was from 40 feet, maybe. Shohei Ohtani, not a lot of ground ball action this season. His career is about 43.4% ground ball rate. This season, 37.6% ground ball rate.
Son of a Hall of Famer, Kevin Biggio, 1 for 23 this season, though. Playing first base, got a beach ball loose out in right field. Welcome back, Juan Lagares, putting you to work.
Not a lot of walks this season for Shohei. This is his 10th walk. To go along with 56 strikeouts, 5-to-1 ratio between strikeouts to walks. Outstanding for Shohei.
Strikeouts per 9. Strikeouts to walks. Doesn't qualify among league leaders based on innings pitched per game played yet.
For a hitter that hasn't had many at-bats this season, Kevin Biggio, this is a time where you might get him to chase something out of the strike zone, although he's very, very patient. He doesn't swing a lot. He's had a tough time this season so far. We saw him last year, patient, very patient, doesn't chase, but this is one of those moments you might get him to.
It's the 0-2, and he got him to chase. Struck him out, 1 down.
It's one of his best splitters I've seen this early in the game for Shohei. That grip, bottom drops. That's now 11 strikeouts and 24 at-bats for Biggio this season. First game back. Springer always getting his shares of boos. Anytime any Astro or former Astro makes its way into this stadium, there's going to be some boos.
Especially after a leadoff home run. Doesn't get the call, 1-0. Gurriel, leadoff walk, he's at first base. Angels have a shift, and he beats it. So, Springer, a homer, and a base hit. First and second, 1 down. He's going to bring up Santiago Espinal.
Sometimes it doesn't even matter who's on the mound. If you're comfortable as a hitter, you're going to have some good swings. And so far, 2 good swings against Shohei for Springer.
And coming in with very good numbers against Shohei, so he's off to a good start.
Already a big moment, especially the way Rio is throwing tonight and what he has done in his career against the Angels. So a big moment here for Shohei with Vlad Jr. waiting on deck. Espinal at the plate.
And only 1 out. The slider misses downstairs. Stassi seems comfortable calling for that split finger fastball.
Shohei's so good with runners in scoring position. He kicks it up a gear. You're going to see some added velocity on all his pitches.
This is going to be tough. It gets up the middle and past Velasquez. And Gurriel, there's going to be a throw to the plate, not in time. 2-0 Toronto. Espinal with an RBI single.
Brock got a lot on that throw, a little bit closer than I thought. Doesn't happen often where Shohei gives up a hit with a runner in scoring position. Has placed it perfectly as Velasquez is trying to keep that in the infield to prevent a run. 152 with runners in scoring position. See that range? He almost got to knock that one down. He's not going to have a play. He's just trying to knock it down.
So that brings up Vladimir Guerrero Jr. The matchup with Shohei Ohtani, reigning MVP, the man that finished second to him. Faced off twice last year. Vlad with a single. Ohtani struck him out. And we show you our Charmin Ultra Strong stats. You look at Vlad Sr. versus Vlad Jr. So the 2004 AL MVP hit 337 better, but it was Jr. that had more home runs, a higher OPS, and a better WAR.
Well, just Vlad picked a better year to have that type of numbers. Vlad Jr. had to deal with Shohei. So far this season, ground ball rate 52% for Vlad Jr. Shohei would love one of those ground balls at an infielder this time, though.
Of course, anytime Junior's here, makes us think about what a great player his dad was here with the Angels. What a season in 2004. A couple others after that, not bad either. We finished top 3 in American League MVP voting.
Vlad Jr.'s rolled into 2 double plays this year.
Can Shohei get him to hit something on the ground? 1-2.
A little close to getting a chase.
Checks the
cutter. So a little difference between that slider. It's going to be 85, 86 range. He did hold up on that one. To him a cutter, a little harder breaking pitch.
Top of the third, 2-0 Jays. 2 on and a 2-2 count to Vlad, and he got him.
So he pitching backwards. He had him looking off speed, got the express instead. That's what Shohei's been really good and effective with this season. On those breaking ball counts, all speed pitch counts, he's throwing his fastball. 96-mile-an-hour fastball, paints.
5 strikeouts for Ohtani. And he won the battle with Guerrero. Now he has to face Bo Bichette, another son of a former Angel. Curveball, got him the chase.
Well, the Angels pitching staff throw a lot of first pitch curveballs.
I've heard you say that before.
It's amazing. The comfort of all the staff to throw curveballs first pitch.
We don't want the opponents to start looking for that. Well, that one's driven to the gap. Trout tries to get over, and it gets down. It gets to the wall. 1 run is in. Springer scores. Espinal in as well. That's a 2-run double for Bichette, and it's 4-0 Toronto.
That's one of those flat sliders. That's the one pitch today that hasn't been right for Shohei for the most part. So you got to round that one. See, it's so hard to throw a curveball and then a slider because there's very similar pitches as far as the break. As a curveball, you're straight over the top. Slider, you're a little bit more different angle with on the baseball with your fingers.
Matt Wise comes out with Ippei to have a chat with Stassi and Shohei. It's 4-0 here in the third. And considering Ohtani has been dominant in his last 5 starts, with an ERA of just 1.5 in those 5. Certainly unusual, and here at the Big A especially. So Bichette now in scoring position. Matt Chapman at the plate. Fastball in there for strike 1. known for his stellar defense at the hot corner, but the batting average has dipped. Almost hit him.
That's a cutter that backed up on Shohei. It's about 38% slider usage today. Coming in the game, 31%. Fastball percentage of 35. Coming in the game, he's at 43%.
And the 1-1 downstairs, 2-1.
He's been on such a great stretch. We talked about that in the opening. His last 5 starts, 3-0 with a 1.50. Joe Madden was talking about down in the dugout today. The pitching and the defense been so great. It's going to be up to the offense here tonight.
Curveball just fouled off. Count now 2-2. It's been pitching and defense that has moved the Angels 9 games over 500. Yeah, the offense can be, ranked up there, runs, homers, but it's that man, and great pitching. The starting pitching has been among the best in the American League. But last night, Detmers got roughed up, and tonight Ohtani's already allowed 4, but he got Chapman to strike out. When we come back, Jillian Albayati from Anaheim High School just made history. Tonight she threw out the first pitch, and she's going to join us on the broadcast when we come back. Yeah, we met by Hyundai. To learn about Hyundai's advanced technology and award-winning safety, visit buyhyundai.com or see your SoCal Hyundai dealers today. Buy Jack in the Box. Try Jack in the Box's popcorn chicken combo for $5.99. Get it classic, spicy, or 50-50. And by your Southern California Cadillac dealers. Halo's back in the ball game, Gooby. And it was so close. Rendon, that nice conversation that he had with Jillian before the game. We almost had some solid mojo. He hit it well, but Gurriel's made 3 good plays. 2 of the 3 were pretty difficult.
Yeah. But again, there's some good swings, and that makes you feel confident as a club. You can come back, and now it's up to Shohei. Talk about that shutdown inning after giving up 3. The offense comes right back and scores 2. Put a 0 up and make it interesting here going forward.
That Rendon blast to the wall would have been a home run in 18 different ballparks, but not here tonight.
By the way, Jillian was selected to the TSF Senior All-Star Game on June 25th at UCLA. So, the props just keep coming in for Jillian. What a nice job she did on the telecast here. That was fun.
Really good job, and she's such a good pitcher. I mean, 11-0. I mean, look at those numbers. There's a little tapper. Ohtani, that's a tough play, but he makes it himself to retire Tapia. It's just he doesn't want to be touched. Okay.
But that's the right play. If you're watching this at home, a ground ball like that, and the Angels have been practicing that with their first baseman. That's the play you go get as a pitcher. It's an easier play for you. Sometimes you wait for the first baseman on the flip. Always the courteous one. Shohei Ohtani.
Yeah, he's nodding over there to make sure that didn't upset anybody over there on the Blue Jays dugout. All respect. Tapia is frustrated that he tapped out like that. Exit, stage right. Danny Jansen.
Trust me, hitters absolutely hate hitting ground balls, soft ground balls for pitchers.
Yeah. Especially when the pitcher wants to come up and tag you.
Yeah, that was interesting over the years, believe me.
I want to think you might have just had that elbow up just a little high every once in a while.
That's why you gotta have some fun.
By the way, that was a first pitch curveball to Jansen. And that's another one. It's 1-1, does not swing. He's thrown 3 first pitch curveballs, 4 sliders, and 8 first pitch fastballs so far tonight. He's ahead of Jansen, 1-2. Jansen drives that one left field. Brandon Marsh on his horseback. Leaps up, makes the catch! Brandon Marsh There's another beautiful stab out there in the outfield. 2 down.
And approved by Shohei Ohtani. Jansen with some pretty good power. 6 extra base hits, 5 home runs. Thought he might have got another one. Fastball, he was ready. He was short on his swing. Captain Caveman going back, runs it down. I honestly think that's a better play than the one he brought back over the wall. Because this is a rocket over his head.
I was just going to ask you, I think that's a better, higher degree of difficulty catch that he made versus Garver. It's a great play. Another hard-hit baseball, though, by Toronto here tonight.
When you look at Toronto, they're offensively, they haven't been in tune as well as we've seen in the past. But so far today, against one of the best pitchers in the game, they've swung the bat well.
4 runs on 4 hits. Lourdes Gurriel has made some nice defensive plays in left field as well tonight. Brother Yuli. You know, we talk about sons of big league players here as well. Their father was a tremendous baseball player in Cuba. Strong genes here tonight.
A couple of sliders today have been a little bit flat by Shohei. He's just underneath the baseball just a bit.
Two down, 2-2 count. Top of the 4th. Fly ball right field. Lagares drifts over, and Ohtani retires the side in order. And he got a little help from his friend out in left field, and he likes it. Ohtani approving of Marsh's stab. Beautiful catch.
It's been around these fields his entire life, watching his dad in the major leagues. This is a play that a guy that's been around the game knows what to make. Force out at third base to be able to get that on a catcher run, and you have Marsh going to second. This is in the hole, and a long throw across the diamond with Velasquez. The much better, consistent play, easier play. That throw to third. That's instincts being around the game for that long. Bo Bichette, his dad played for a lot of years, and he was hanging around watching those plays happen. And that's how you're able to make that play so easily without even thinking.
Dante Bichette, Bo's dad, was drafted by the Angels 17th round way back in 1984. You must have got a chance to face Dad.
Yes.
I know we just age ourselves whenever Mark has faced all the fathers of all the players in the game today.
Yes.
But there is a famous photo of Dante Bichette that he will never, ever get to live down. I'm sure he's proud of it, probably has it framed. Ohtani back out there facing Cavan Biggio. Muscling into the Angels lineup. And to see, that's a 40-pound dumbbell.
Yeah, and believe me, he had made it around the visiting clubhouse. We were facing him, so that was a fun conversation. But I go back to instincts of being around the game. When you're around the game like Bo Bichette was, or Vlad Jr., or Biggio, you're seeing those plays where everyone else is thinking, okay, I'll make the play at first base. But the smart, easier play is to force out at third, and he was able to do that so effortlessly because he's around the game.
Imagine it certainly helps a great deal. Joe Madden was asked if Vlad Jr. was around. Joe was here in 2004. He said, well, I don't remember. He would have been awfully young, but he does remember how, Vlad Sr.'s mom would always bring some great food into the clubhouse. The 2-2, and he struck him out again.
That splitter's been really good. I remember when Vlad was put into the Hall of Fame in Cooperstown, and Vlad Jr. was sitting right in front of us in Cooperstown at the induction, and the smile on his face. And I remember just saying to him, this might be you somewhere down the road. And he just looked around and said, he was very, very young at that point, but he's saying, you know what? He had a lot of confidence, and you can see why. He's a fantastic player. And he's still so young.
You hear the boos. It's for George Springer, who's homered and singled. He scored 2 runs. And the Blue Jays kind of tried to slow down that initial time bringing up Junior. He was just ripping up the minor leagues. And the splitter, 1-1. And he's here to stay. 1 down, top of the 5th for Ohtani. He's thrown 75 pitches. Allowed 4 runs.
That splitter just kind of was a little quick. The pitch before the splitter was outstanding. For the most part in this game, his splitter is back to where it was that dominant form we saw in 2021.
So regroup here for Ohtani, the 2-1 pitch. Springer was looking to do some damage on that slider. Let's take a look at our Kia player profile. Top strikeout percentage, MLB starters entering today, Mark.
Amazing, Shohei Ohtani. And the thought is, the energy he uses hitting every day, playing every day, it's still amazing what he does on the mound.
And he got him. He solved Springer on that one. That'll add to that strikeout percentage.
This runs out, went in, backed up, and couldn't get those arms extended.
8 strikeouts now for Ohtani. Espinal takes strike 1. Back in the 3rd, an RBI single, also a run scored for Santiago.
Amazing that last at bat when he got that ground ball just past Velasquez. He had rolled into 8 double plays already this year. Straight over the top curveball, 12-6 break for Shohei.
And the 1-1. Ahead of Espinal now, 1-2. See if he gets a chase here to strike out the side.
Got the top of the order. Get a quick out here, clean inning. Get that top of the order going. Just down by 2.
Gets some momentum going in that dugout. Misses inside, 2-2.
Hard splitter. Just off the inside corner.
That's 9. 9 strikeouts for Shohei. Strikes out the side. He's going to bring up the top of the order.
Nasty. Splitter is back. Through 5 innings to strikeouts, 9 of 4 on his splitter, a couple with his slider and 4-seam fastball, 1 with his cut fastball today, all below the strike zone. That 4-seam fastball upstairs, but his splitter has been outstanding. Take a look at our Frontier Play Sense, where these pitches are going, starting at the belt. They got Tapia, and his splitter ends up at 87 miles an hour, well out of the strike zone. Same thing here. Tracking as a hitter at the belt, ends up down and away at 87. It's incredible how much those splitters have dropped today. Nasty pitches for Shohei Ohtani. Now it's time for the Home Depot getting more done as far as the usage of his splitter and how effective it has been. 12 thrown. He's thrown 8 with 2 strikes. He's gotten 5 swing and misses and 4 strikeouts. So that's a pitch that hasn't been real comfortable for him of late, but it's definitely been that today. Wow, that's nasty. His
9 strikeouts in the 5 innings, 8 of those swinging. Struck out the side. Now he's got to face Vlad Guerrero. He's 0 for 2 with a strikeout. Guerrero's the only one that struck out looking so far in the game of the 9. I mean, pretty good battle. I know 4 runs across for Toronto, but this is a great matchup with Ohtani and Ryu. They're going head to head. Ryu just striking out Ohtani to end that bottom of the fifth. This is good theater.
There's that big curveball. That's a good bite to his curveball tonight. Straight up and down, 12-6 break. And that's one of those pitches where Max Stassi got that call. Because that's a little bit off the plate, presented it well.
You don't want to hang a curveball to Vladimir Guerrero Jr. And if that stays fair, hits the foul pole, and that's a home run for Guerrero. It's a curveball, and it's 5-2 Toronto.
Second career home run against the Angels, coming in a 174 batting average against the Angels with Vlad Jr. This time that curveball, he tracked it well, hits it out.
Yeah, he had just seen it, so recognized it. It's a big swing. He knew it had the distance. It was just a question of if it was going to stay fair or not. And right off that foul pole for his 9th home run of the season. And that's Bichette. First pitch, line drive off that fastball, base hit.
Second hit for Bichette. He's always up hacking at the first pitch. Might get some action, and it is getting some action now in the bullpen.
So I mentioned earlier that Guerrero had a 15-game homerless drought, but just finished off that road trip with a home run to snap it in a win in St. Louis. Did he just get showered with sunflower seeds? Is that what?
So in tonight's game, Shohei Ohtani's allowed 2 home runs to right-handed batters. He had not allowed a home run to a right-handed batter this season, 3 versus lefty, so 5th home run of the year.
It's a fly ball left field. Marsh is there and retires Chapman for an out.
When you go back to that sequence against Vlad Jr., the curveball, the bite on the one, it gets the outside corner. And this very next one, he comes right back with a curveball. He tracked it well, but this time it's going to be the middle of the plate. And all you can hope for as a pitcher that it goes foul, but it was hit too hard. It didn't hook. That one, middle of the plate. The other one, just a little bit off the outside corner.
Angels were hoping that baseball he hit would hook foul. Time is called.
Never a fan of calling timeout when a pitcher's about ready to make a delivery. By the way, that's the first home run that Shohei has allowed versus his curveball this year.
John Lipka granting Tapia time. Say that 3 times fast.
So far, home runs coming into this game. Slider, he given up 1 and 2 versus his splitter this year. So that's a slow curveball that Shohei gave up a home run with.
Now back 0-1. It's most earned runs that Shohei's allowed since the 6 at Texas. Didn't lose here at all last year, 6-0. So the Halo faithful here at the Big A, not used to Ohtani struggling on the hill. Not that he's struggling, but 5 runs, couple of home runs.
He's only thrown 30% fastballs today, and his best fastball at 97.6. I'm sure that'll be asked after the game to Shohei, Ippei.
Yeah. Any question as to why in your mind, especially coming in with that velo being so high, up 97, pushing 100.
The only thing I can think of for Shohei is when he warms up in the bullpen, he has 5 pitches he can go to. Sometimes one of those pitches is not something he's comfortable with. So clearly whether he didn't feel he had the velocity to his fastball, didn't quite have that, the zip on it going through that zone. The spin, he's had a much better spin rate on his four-seam fastball, best in his career so far this year.
The 0-2, another strikeout.
Twice now he's gotten Tapia out on splitters.
That's 10 strikeouts. 3 times this year he's reached double digits. 12 strikeouts at Houston, 11 at Boston. That's 10 here tonight.
And you look sometimes for Shohei, is he at his best when he's getting strikeouts? Well, you look at the game he had against Boston up there, 7 shutout innings, he had 11. He was unbelievable down in Houston when he had 12 and 6.
Look out. Inside to Jansen. In the Boston game, that was the 29 whiffs.
Yeah, that's a huge percentage of strikes he threw. He threw almost 82% of his pitches were strikes in that game.
So the first inning was a leadoff home run from Springer, right? Went down and got that fastball, right? Curveball, and Bichette goes. Stassi throws down. Good throw, and he's out.
It's good to see third base stealer caught with Stassi this season. Shohei mentioned very difficult to steal against. He's only allowed 3 stolen bases now in 10 attempts, or I say 7 attempts.
Bichette was looking for his 5th. Stassi up quick, and a perfect strike to Rengifo. And the score remains 5-2. Bottom 6 coming up.
Shohei, how are you feeling about your performance out there tonight against the Jays?
今日の登板の感想は全体的な感想をお願いします。いいところで打たれてしまったので、そこが全部かなと。ランナーがいる場面で1本が効果的に出てたかなと思います。
Yeah, just gave up big hits in big spots with runners on base, and I think that's pretty much wraps up my day today.
What are some things that the Jays do well that make it kind of tough to pitch against sometimes?
ブルージェイズ打線はどういう投げづらさとかはどういうところに感じましたか？もちろんいいラインナップですし、一人一人触れてるバッターいると思うので、そういうバッターに対して、最後のホームランもそうですけどね、ああいう球っていうのはしっかり打たれるかなと思います。
Obviously, they have a really stacked lineup from top to bottom, and like the last homer I gave up, I just can't make those mistake pitches against good hitters, or else that's going to be the result.
How's your back?
腰はどうですか？明日になってみないとちょっとどうなのかなっていう感じですけど、今のところはそんなに大したことはないかなと。
As of now, I don't think it's a big issue, but you gotta see, wait till tomorrow and see how it feels.
Did you feel it like during your start or after? When did you start to feel it?
いつから感じ始めました？初回ですね。初回のスライダー投げた時ですかね。
I felt it in the first inning when I threw a slider to Vlad Jr.
Your velocity was a little down tonight. Did that have anything to do with your back or fatigue?
まっすぐの球速が前回よりはちょっと遅かったんですけど、それは疲れが要因かもしくは腰かどのように？今日は腰ですね。やっぱ初回の入り的にもそうですし、結局なんでしょうね、三振はそこそこ取りましたけど、なんとなくだましのまし投げてるような感覚かなと思います。
Yeah, I'd definitely say it was my back. I mean, I was able to get a bunch of strikeouts, but I was kind of pitching not to my fullest strength. I was trying to pitch around it.
Do you think the back thing is a result of fatigue?
私は疲労の結果の、疲労からつながってると思います。腰の張りは。どうですかね。1球投げた時におかしいなって感じだったので、メカニック的にちょっと例えば滑った時に、感じる張りだったりとかそういう感じかなと思います。
It's hard to say, but since I felt it on one certain pitch, I'm not thinking it's really fatigue. It might have been something to do with my mechanics.